Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Dragon Prince, Season 4, Episode 7, Beneath the Surface. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show. They are, well, some of us are travelling down the path towards Igneous, Earth Dragon. And yeah, Claudia and Soren bumped into each other. I'm quite stressed. Very excited, though. Is this the scary path? Like, why is this path so terrifying? Is it just because there's a dragon at the end?
Between here and gift of sacrifice and hope for the best.
Wait, did you just say gift of sacrifice?
We're here at the first zone.
No, wait, before we enter the zone, gift of sacrifice, we do need to figure that one out first.
I've always said if there was anywhere I could go and get lost forever and starve to death, this should be it. It's just so pretty.
I was about to say how lovely it was that Bait was riding on Sim and then that happened.
Is this how we're going to find Soren?
Soren is strong. He'll find a way to survive.
I mean, Soren is not down here, but I love that they care. A lot. Think how far we've all come, and oh Lord Almighty, here we go.
To release the greatest evil the world has ever known.
Oh, I knew you wouldn't understand.
Claudia, think about
If you won't
this.
stop, then I will stop you.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that simple, but I am proud of him for, you know, staying strong.
Let's go.
Please?
Please. Yep, yep.
I mean, they've made friends, it's all
This
good.
is super intense.
Babies contain sun magic. Orca marines have ocean energy.
This is be a very valuable place
Sky
then.
sapphires have sky magic inside. There are gemstones for each primal. Moon ones are the prettiest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Look
I
at
mean-
him.
The opals.
Oh my god.
So,
With Bait, what did that creature just do? It can do magic. Where's he send that gem? Look at his face.
as
Getting a few breaths of fresh air to wind down.
Yeah, your kids are currently not winding down. It's even more complicated than Soren knows. And she didn't even try and explain to him what she was doing. Because she knows he'd stop her. And has she stopped to question the fact that Aravos will he referred to him as the most powerful evil ever? Or does she think he knows about Viren and that he meant their dad was the most powerful evil ever? You're very brave and you care about your sister so much, and that should tell her something. That should tell her something about what she's doing. Look at which family member would do anything for her, despite everything. He wants me so bad. That's my angel. This doesn't seem terrifying yet, so something's got to happen that's terrifying.
That zone of peril was so fun. I can't wait for the next one.
That's the spirit. Hide and seek with deadly monsters.
Oh my god. I still think we need to touch on this whole sacrifice thing we were supposed to bring.
Why didn't you come home, Claudia? After the battle, like, I missed you. But Claudia, you're on the wrong side. I know you can change.
I think it is too late for her. Claudia, think about this. Ask him at the very least what he meant about the most evil being of all time, unless she already knows exactly who Aravos is and she doesn't care.
And what good would worrying do?
Yeah, normal fatherly instinct.
sometimes a friend can light the way.
That's really sweet. But no, there are terrifying monsters in there that are drawn to even the faintest light.
Oh,
I don't care
great.
if they hate the light, I'll eat light.
Yeah, we're not letting them eat
Whatever it is,
bait,
if you
my
don't wanna have any
baby.
light, all these
Well, this bit will be easy for the animators.
Yep.
great.
Oh,
You
Lord.
just need to stay calm and keep moving forward. No glowing.
Bait! Bait, 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 baby, bait! Oh my god. Who's that the bitch? Oh god, there's more. My loves. Oh, baby! He'll protect his friends. Sim! I know he's drawing them away, but I don't like this. Zim!
Come on, buddy. Sim! Yeah!
He did that. Wow. The procession. It's just like, you know, it's so sad. It's really even looked at him like, oh, it's just so sad. What was everything?
Things might come back.
Yeah, we better
Let's get
move.
out of here.
That was absolutely everything's him. You little chaos gremlin.
About Arvados. Averoni? Ravrados. Amber Nose.
Erebos. It's Erebos.
Just tell her
It's
how.
not that hard. Oh, are you sure? Are they real friends? Or are they just taking advantage of you? You'll always
Aravos
be a
is
human to
taking
them.
advantage of
You'll
you.
always be less. We were starving
And why
rich
do you think
and
Aravos is any
helpless.
different?
There was famine and disease
That
and
bloody
there was
butterfly is gonna
war,
land on
all
her
the
and
few
she's gonna,
resources that
or
we
it
could
is
get our
already
pretty
magic.
little hands.
I don't think we have the
The
same
butterfly is gonna
feelings.
help her get away.
Erebos believed in humans. You would be dead without Dad's magic.
It's true, but the bigger picture is
Who's ready
exactly
for
the same
surgery?
as it ever was.
Lava Land.
Actually, I think I copied a spell down in my book.
What
that
was
might be
that?
perfect. It makes a breeze dome.
Nice.
Now I'm cold.
There is no pleasing people.
Okay.
Just what does he want to talk about?
Yeah.
It's not what she thinks, I don't think.
I need you. Kill me.
What?
I need you to kill me. I mean, not now.
Oh, if Aravos uses
bad
him
things
again.
but I need you to kill me.
Oh, sweetheart.
Back at I'm afraid that he'll use me to do awful things.
Sweetheart, no one should
Or
think
hurt people I
this.
care about. Ow! Why are you hogging my nose?
I couldn't think of a better response to your stupid request. I'm
Okay.
not going to kill
It's a
you.
big thing to ask
Ow.
someone to do.
Then take a different path, dummy.
I love Rayla's look on the world. She really thought they were finally going to have the talk about them.
Claudia, she will be a valuable asset.
She
Yep.
is not an asset.
He's literally made it obvious to you from the beginning.
Saw me as a dirt, but I knew. I always knew that I was a buck. I chose the name Terrestrius.
A strong name.
It is. I'm making bad choices by being with Claudia, though. Very bad choices.
We made it!
The lair of Rex Igneous.
Do we have a sacrifice for him?
Why didn't you try to escape?
Because she's not alone.
Who are you? What's going on?
Yeah. Soren. He tried to give you a chance, Claudia.
Where's Dad?
Right
Yeah.
behind me.
Oh, Soren. This is awful.
No. No!
Yep. Soren is going through it. I'll start with Soren and Claudia, 'cause that's kind of where we left off. My big fear right now will be that somehow Soren will end up back under his father's spell, back trying to impress him, trying to prove him, or whatever. That is something that I'm scared will happen, but I don't think will. Then my biggest hope is that Claudia will somehow see sense. What I think would actually be a very, very interesting plotline from this point onwards would be Viren trying to work with Soren to save Claudia from Erebos. Because clearly Erebos is not a good guy. And you know that dream he had where he was like, oh, I can always count on you. And Erebos was like, an asset. Clearly, you know, he's not happy about how his daughter is being used in this way. So will he look at the child that got away from him, that did the right thing, that chose for himself the life that he wanted and what he knew was right, rather than doing whatever Daddy said? And will he think, this is actually, I want Claudia to be able to make those choices too? Or are they just gonna, you know, I mean, I don't think they're gonna kill Soren, which, you know, is nice, otherwise I'd be scared. But like, I just the kind of the obvious route here would be they just sort of leave Soren there and just go off, and maybe he finds his dragon and eventually catches up with the others. What would be interesting would be for Viren to be against Aravos and trying to protect Claudia from him. And there are only 2 episodes left in the season, so obviously we're not going to complete a decent chunk. But I mean, we only have 3 seasons of dealing with the first arc. They're going to have to find all the different pieces to even free Aravos. That won't happen this season, at least. I mean, maybe it will, but it would happen very quickly if it happened this season. So that would be an interesting dynamic if Viren is kind of like, hey, so Soren, you did the right thing, and it could be interesting. What could also happen, and I think especially given that they had that moment where Soren was like horrified and terrified that his father was alive, it would be a nice twist if actually Viren was like, so yeah, I've made mistakes. Realistically, I don't necessarily think that will happen, but it could be an interesting direction for the show to take. For Soren, I have grown to really love his character. And like, season 1, I did not like him. I felt bad for him because clearly his dad, you know, did not respect him and he didn't have a good relationship with him. But I thought he was just an arrogant jerk. You know, he and Claudia are very much often the comedic relief of the show, and a lot of that humour is aimed at children, so often I would just be like, rolling my eyes at them, completely fine with it and understanding why it was there, but just like, it's just not for me. But watching him stand up to his father and his sister, walk away from the only family he had left because he knew what was right, and risk his life, I've really come to respect him. And then seeing, you know, that moment when Claudia was falling, without hesitation, he jumped. He can't fly by himself. He could have tried to swoop the dragon down to catch her, but he just knew, she's gonna fall, I want to protect her. And yeah, then he tied her up because she can do magic and sprout wings and fly away, and he needed to try and talk some sense into her. I think I particularly enjoyed their scenes because it also gave you a really good insight into what's going through Claudia's head, which is that she has been fully manipulated by Aravos. And, you know, he's probably not lying. You know, the things he's told her are true, and that is why she believes him, because she can feel they're true. But he's left a whole lot of stuff out. Also, she's not stopped to consider what Aravos's motivations were. Did he truly just altruistically believe in humanity, or did he have another purpose? And I kind of think it's just so sad because there was so much potential in Claudia, and her father started her down this route. So I really would like to see Viren at some point fighting to save Claudia, because he has made sure she is on the wrong path right now. And the worst thing is, because the whole story about how humans, their existence was, and we've seen some of that struggle with continuing to this day, elves looking down on humans. It's not true, but it's not the whole story, and it's not the whole picture. And it's been 1,000 years since then. Things are different now. Humans are more self-sufficient. Some of them have one of them has actual magic. There's a hope for the future to be different, and it will never be different if we can't forget the past, but at the same time, if you're like, oh, things were bad in the past, therefore they're bad now, you're never going to advance, you're never going to change, and you're never going to make a better world. So Claudia needs to stop doing whatever she thinks her dad wants and whatever Aravos tells her, and start doing what she truly believes is right. You know, she and Terry seem to have a genuine relationship where they both see each other, they see the parts of each other that other people might find all weird, and they respect them. And, you know, I like that relationship, but at the same time, I'm just like, the things you were trying to do are so evil that you are both walking down a path to a dark, dark place. And I worry that we won't be able to save Claudia. So it was good to get an insight into her thoughts, and it was good to see Soren truly caring for his sister and how, you know, in his own way, trying to get through to her. But obviously he's Soren. He's wonderful and brilliant and brave, but that he's not the most intellectually smart, and he's not very good with his words always, and that's fine, doesn't have to be, but it made it harder for him to get through to Claudia when Claudia is that way inclined, and she's so fervently believing what she says to be true. I do not know where they're going to go next with that, but I am intrigued. And I like learning more about Terry, more about why maybe he left his home because he didn't fit in, and how Claudia respecting him for who he is so important to her. I just worry in general that Terry is going down a dark path, but I also really respected him for the fact that, like, he was like, I'm not going to turn my emotions off, fuck you. I respected that. Viren is an interesting one. I definitely think this whole season we have seen that he is not on board with Arivos 100%. He is seeing that Arivos is using him, and while perhaps in the earlier seasons he was arrogant enough to believe he was powerful enough to deal with it, he was powerful enough that Arivos is some elf in a cage, I'll be fine. Now I think he's realizing just what a mistake he has made. But the question is, if Arivos starts offering him things that he wants, will he get swayed again? So I'm really intrigued with where that all goes. Now the three caves, the light cave was the crystal cave was everything. It was lovely. I suppose it was a danger because if you didn't know, you would get lost trying to find your way out. Bates' delight at getting to ding the crystal was absolutely everything. Then the second cave was very stressful. You knew something was going to happen, and that moment when Bait was being crept up on by a monster, I did not appreciate. Nor did I appreciate when they were dragging out where Zim was. Obviously, the show is called The Dragon Prince. The Dragon Prince can't die, but at the same time, he can suffer. Where is he? And then the moment when they were all looking so concerned, and Zim just joined in. I genuinely like that made me so happy. So ridiculous, but so well done. And just, I love that little baby dragon to death. And then, you know, the final one, they got to have a little moment's respite, a moment's rest. And, you know, Rayla thought Callum was finally going to talk to her about how he's feeling about them, because he has a lot of feelings about them. And I think it's very hard for them to process this. But that's almost at the back of his mind now. Ever since Arivos puppeted him, he has just been worrying that it will happen again, and that this time he won't just be used to hurt his friends with words, he'll be used to hurt his friends physically and his family, and he doesn't want to do that. Now, I respect very much the notion behind his request, the idea of kill me so I don't hurt you, but I also feel like killing you is extreme. We could knock you out, we could restrain you, you know, we could, there are other options that don't involve killing. So I love him for asking her and for trusting her with this, and I love her for taking absolutely none of his shit and for being like, you're stupid, we're not doing that, goodbye. You know, if you think you're going down a dark path, choose a different one. I really, really love Rayla's way of looking at things, and maybe she should have stayed and talked to him a little bit more. Maybe she should have talked to him about how, like, you're not going down, like, you're Callum, you can choose the right thing. But at the end of the day, I think he maybe needed that little, like, shake. And when we saw he's not fully shaken out of it because he couldn't let go of the cube, but I think the cube means so much more to him than, it's not, he doesn't want it because of its link to Arivos, he wants it because of what it meant to him about discovering magic. Maybe that will be enough to sacrifice to the dragon, because the kid said you need to have something to sacrifice, and then they were like, wait, what? And then they immediately got distracted by pretty crystals. We don't have any gifts of sacrifice. Maybe we could give him a cube we really like, and that will be enough. So I guess we're going to meet Rex Igneous next episode, which is going to be a lot. Stressed about what's going to happen with Soren, hopeful but stressed. And yeah, this was a very good episode. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.